Welcome back to another very AI episode of The Careful Boys, where, there is this teen that used AI to clone her mom's voice to call out of school and was even able to fool her dad.
Bart, do you punish your kid for this?
If they...
That's a good question.
Yeah, I probably would.
But it's so clever, you gotta give credit, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you like smack them and give them a lollipop after. One of those double
Funny
things.
if you give him the lollipop first and smack it out of his mouth.
Pick that up.
How did they know how to do it?
Like, dude, that's really cool. It's really smart, really clever, but it's also very dishonest, which is not good.
Yeah,
A little shady behavior.
I'd ask, why are you trying to ditch school? I'm trying to go suck my boyfriend dick. Now you're in big trouble.
Yeah. What I tell you about all that?
Yeah.
But if it's like, I just wanted to stay home because I have an eBay business and I make $100,000 a day.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now we're talking.
Then there's a lot of pop.
Oh, really?
Talking.
Oh, word? You feel me?
You don't say.
Dribbity cheese. Already?
That's AI, Joe.
He must have a girlfriend in there. Already?
Girl, why you ain't sucking no dick? I'd rather you suck some dick instead.
I know you were sneaking sucking some dick.
That's ChatGPT, Joe. If I'm Joe Jitsukawa, what would I say to my kid?
If it said dribbity cheese, I would get up, leave, go in a car, fly home. Because AI's got us by the balls. You know what I mean?
You're gonna do it better, dude.
Yeah.
You're gonna do JKD's better.
It's a 13-year-old girl who fed her mom's voice to AI and used the result to get out of school and go to a sleepover party. Concerned by the technological savvy of a middle school girl, commenters marveled at the problematic advancement of both AI and the near diabolical ingenuity of its Gen Alpha users. I do think that there's something tight about somebody being like 13 years old and knowing how to do that.
Yeah, but
It's already a program.
if this motherfucker was in the 90s, he would have to synthesize the voice and all this shit. Actually doing the work. Now you can just type it in like a sentence.
You just ask it to do that.
Hit enter, God forbid. Oh, I hope enter button's not stuck. And then it does it for you. Give me a break.
Is that their version of forging signatures?
I guess. That's not technological savvy. That's like adult untechnological savvy that they're looking at it from that side going, how did she do it?
Yeah,
Well, if the dad's getting tricked,
Yeah, the dad's too old.
But you guys are missing the main point.
What's that?
Why is she having a sleepover in the morning?
Yeah, timing's weird.
So it's like the mom's calling and saying, "Hey, we need to pull you out of school," right? So the mom's calling, and you go, "Oh, looks like I gotta go home
it's probably
at 11 a.m."
Probably out of school for the next day. So you can go to sleepover, stay up as late as you want. And
That
not
was
have
my
to wake
immediate
up.
thought. I didn't have to think twice about it.
I wasn't thinking about that.
Well, because when you're a kid, the sleep part sucks.
Yeah.
The hangout for longer than bedtime is amazing. It's next level.
So
And then not have to wake up at like 6, 7 a.m.
I did the sleepovers wrong.
You went to sleep?
No, I just hung out, and then we went to school the next day.
Oh.
So you did a sleepover, and then the next day you go to school
Yeah.
together.
I couldn't do that.
But that's not what you're supposed to do.
Oh.
No Sunday night sleepovers.
What about
crazy.
what about in high school? Did you ever stay over your friend's pad?
Nah.
All throughout high school, you never did that. Wow.
I was only able to do one sleepover at one friend's house, like outside of sleepover at my cousin's, because obviously my family knew the family.
Oh, okay.
But I got one sleepover because I begged so hard because it was WrestleMania. So we wanted to
What was the reason your parents would forbid you from going to sleepovers?
I don't know, they just would not let us have fun.
They would just say no and no explanation.
No,
They didn't want him to get touched.
Yeah,
That would be a better explanation.
They were protecting me.
That's a good one, yeah.
But I don't know if
high
they.
school,
But I
though.
don't even think they voiced that though. They just say hard no.
My parents had so many kids
Yeah.
that they're like, oh my god, one voice out of this house, let's go. Go to your friend's house, go for it. Like that.
Don't come back for a week.
Yeah.
My parents would just say that like they didn't want me to go to other houses because it was a liability if I got hurt or something.
because you knew you'd be fucked around, huh?
Yeah. Well, that's why they said it was weird because it worked both ways. They were like, don't go there because if something happens to you there, it's gonna be really messy, and you can't let anyone come here because if something happens to them, we're gonna get sued. So I was like, so I can't go anywhere. Nothing can happen. Yeah.
You know what's actually crazy? A genuine memory I just recently had. I was like, damn, dude, I remember sleeping over at this guy Mike's house when I was a kid. And, like, his dad was yelling at his mom all night long. And then I was like, I'm not going to this fucking guy's house again to spend the night. And that's all. Like, it wasn't like, I was never like, their family's messed up. Or like, wow, the dad's probably beating the mom up, like, upstairs.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is very inconvenient for me as a sleepover.
Go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't very fun.
It's like the fun house.
I was like, it was very fun when we were watching The Sandlot and I couldn't hear any of that.
Not like Joe when your fucking friend's dad
fuck.
came in and
And I still kept going to their house.
started petting you.
Dude,
Fuck. He's like, this guy's nice.
I remember in elementary.
I remember
That's
that.
so crazy.
Shit, man.
I remember in elementary, like,
You look like a soft boy.
I was super hyped to going to sleepovers, right?
God,
and I'm like, fuck yeah, we're gonna fucking go. This one's an innocent one. And then we're having hella fun, and then now it's time to go to bed. So we're like sleeping, and I start going, fuck, dude, I fucking miss my own bed, and I miss my own house. And I start getting like really sad and shit, and I'm like, I can't do this, I need to go home. And I went to my friend's parents' room. I goes, I need to go home. I was like, I'm too sad.
I can't do this.
And then I was like, I want my bed. And I got hella sad. And I think this like mom and shit was like, she just chilled with me on the couch until I fucking cried it out. And then I got tired, and then I fell back asleep. But I was like, next morning, I was like, damn, sleepovers aren't too bad.
What did the friend say?
He wasn't even with me. I was just like I was like, I think he fell asleep or something. And I was like looking over, and I was like, fuck, this is sad. So I just got up and I knocked on their door, and I was like, can you call my mom? I want to go home.
That's very sad.
It's like midnight or something. Everyone's asleep already.
Yeah, I was a kid, man. And then later on, though, like I think high school is when it got really fun. Yeah, you're just like,
That's when the drugs came in.
yeah. But in elementaries, I think when people really go, well, you want to have a sleepover? Yeah, we're gonna have a. And I'm like, what's that? Because we just all sleep over in the same house, and then we can play games and stuff. And I'm like, hell yeah! But I was the only one like awake while everyone was sleeping. And I'm like, I want to go home.
When that guy was petting you, what were you thinking was going
That was
on?
a different time.
No, I know, but what did you think was going on?
I was just scared shitless, dude.
Dude, that's fucked up.
Yeah, but that was like junior high though.
Right, but
Like, no, not maybe fifth
in your
grade.
brain, were you just like, I guess this guy thinks I'm pretty tight?
This guy really likes me.
I was just trying to pretend that I was sleeping. Like,
That'd be fair
don't
for my
fuck me
life.
up, dude. Don't fuck me
You
up.
just heard him fucking up. Someone
Yeah.
else comes in the room. Hey, Joe.
Yeah. And I was like, don't do nothing. Don't cry. Don't fucking do nothing.
Oh my god.
I'm going like this, like. There's fucking tears coming out.
Shaking.
It's okay.
It's okay,
You're not gonna act up, are you?
You're such a soft, sweet boy.
Yeah.
You're not a bad boy,
I
like.
wouldn't be able to hit you that hard.
Not a bad boy like my wife.
But we kept going back. Isn't that weird?
Yes.
You know whose house was really fun? Do you remember Francis?
Francis Chang,
So
yeah.
we had a Chinese immigrant homie where his parents just kind of like gave him a house and
Yeah, he
everything.
had his own house.
What the?
So like think about being in the 8th grade
Yeah.
and you have your own home. Like you could do whatever the fuck you want.
Parents are in China?
Yeah.
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 That was my ex's best friend.
Yeah, and then we would go over and like we could stay there for a couple days. He would just have loads of fucking spam in his for some reason he always had spam and like rice, and we would just feel like we're adults, dude.
That's crazy.
So we would play Dance Dance Revolution and we're like, all right, spam and eggs, and then he would fry it up for us and we're all eating and shit. We're like, this fucking good, dude.
Did he have a DDR machine?
No, he had
He had the
everything.
pad or he had the machine?
No, he had the pad. He had the pad. So he had the pad. We were like,
That was the best sleepover era, like DDR and like N64.
yeah.
N64 by far.
4-player Mario Party.
Did he have a maid or whatever? Or he's just there by himself?
It was him and his little brother, but it was like the people next. It was like a duplex, and then the family that was next to him was paid to take care of them. But they were they could do whatever the fuck they want. But all through his life, he used to like live with the sponsored family or whatever. But then I think he was just like, man, I don't want to fucking deal with all these people. So in 8th grade, he already had his own place.
What?
Yeah.
So crazy.
So that became the sleepover house. We could stay as many days as we want. But that was fun.
Supervised.
And then your garage became the fucking drug den.
Drug den. But by the time it was high school, I think people were just... You always find the person where their parents are like never home or whatever, and then you just go to that house, and then...
I just didn't know anybody cool.
Yeah, not like that.
There was no way. Parents were always home.
The cool ones were the neglected ones.
Your parents were always home.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Did people not want to sleep over your guys' place?
Well, they did because we had like the Nintendo 64 and shit like that.
and shit.
But the problem is like all my siblings. So I had like freaking for a billion siblings. So like, if you want to get on an N64, you have to wait a little bit sometimes. So
Damn.
Yeah, put the quarter up.
yeah, exactly. You gotta wait.
High school was weird for me in that like that was when I discovered, especially going over to friends' homes like after school or like working on group projects. That's when I started to realize as I was going to different people's houses how fucking poor my parents were.
Oh.
Really?
I never went to a house that was like more ghetto than mine.
What?
No way.
Never.
How ghetto was your house?
We were just in this little condo, so it's just like, you know, super connected in the middle, just a little condo, and the kitchen is like smaller than this. Kitchen and dining area is smaller than this. This is still where I sleep in my parents' house when I go home. And the difference is when I went to Sunny Hills, because I transferred to that school, so we went to like Fullerton area, and all the Koreans there, they were just rich.
Balling, yeah.
They just had these giant houses.
Yeah.
That's a tough comparison
I
though.
couldn't even process. Like, number one, the first time I went into a neighborhood that like you had to go through a gate, I was like, huh?
What is this? Yeah.
You have a gate, or there's like a lake, or there's like a little fountain that's just a community thing that just looks cool.
Is it like one of those where you have to go through a security or like
Sometimes.
code, and then the gate opens?
Yeah. Many neighborhoods are just that's just the regular.
Yeah.
And then or when you go into a house and it's like that house one stands alone. So like I'm always just in like this little condo, and then you go to a house that's just got like a giant driveway, yard, backyard, pool. I'm all I know is community pool that like closes at a certain time, type stuff. You
How many
know.
bedrooms was your childhood home?
3 bedrooms. So it's my parents' bedroom, my sister's bedroom, and then my bedroom. But my bedroom, same thing, is like smaller than this.
I can relate to you. My first house in Cerritos that I remember like that was the street that I had the most fun because I had all my friends on that street, and I remember going, damn, we literally have the ugliest house on the block. It was the ugliest and the most run down, and I think my mom has always been buying like or like in the real estate investment mindset. So she was like, if we can get a home in Cerritos, it's gonna appreciate. So it didn't matter if it was ugly as fuck.
Oh.
But like everyone's garage door was like the roll up kind or whatever, or at least automatic. Ours was like the wood one. And
You gotta do it yourself.
come out and open it. You know, like everything was
There's
just
that handlebar.
Yeah, everything's fucked up about our house. Like everyone else had like tile, we had like linoleum or whatever. Like everything was just fucked up. And I remember going like, damn, our house is the ugliest and shittiest fucking house on the street.
I couldn't even tell like wealthy or not like that. Like looking at tiles and shit. Like I didn't know that.
Hell no.
No, I didn't.
I knew if they didn't have cool games, if we're playing board games all night, I'm like, oh my god, I'm never coming back here ever fucking again.
You could tell who's rich by how much they didn't appreciate the shit you thought was cool. Like when I went to some other kid's house and they had way more games than me, and they would go, "Oh, I haven't even played that." I'd be like, "What? How do you have a game you haven't played?" It would blow my mind. I'm like, "You own this game."
Yeah, but it's because it's Final Fantasy VII, dude. I don't give a shit.
I actually, I had pretty poor like friends and classmates, but I thought they were richer than us because like one of them, they were a fucking mess, dude. They had like a pet pig that shit everywhere inside their house.
Why the fuck
they
do you
were
have a pet
trash,
pig?
dude. They were so bad, like. And hella kids, and then I was just like, man, you guys are so rich. I just thought they were filthy because there were too many people. but they always had toys, always had stuff, and they had horses, dude. Like,
Wow.
you know how like in Compton, there's like a huge horse community? So like they would take me to the stables where they had their horses parked. And then they would just like run them and whatever. They had like a pony where all the kids could ride. And I was like, dude, they're so fucking rich. But looking back, it's like they were hella trash.
I thought anybody with stairs was rich.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyone with the 2-story house?
Yeah.
I was like, damn, you got stairs?
Dude, I remember I went to a friend's house and he had a legit tree house.
What? Oh, like the kind in the movies?
Yeah, bro, like suburban type shit. And you climb it up and you're like, yo, this is so sick. And you're imagining, like, if I had a tree house, I'd be up here all day. But he was like, yeah, I come here sometimes. Like, I don't really use it that much. They're like, oh my God.
I come up here to look at printouts of boobs.
He didn't even show me the good stuff.
He didn't show you that?
He was really into gorillas. He was
That's
like, check out these gorillas.
You keep it in a scroll, and then you unfurl it up in the treehouse.
Yeah. What do you have private time?
Make sure you're good.
Treehouse is crazy luxury.
I never knew anybody with that, man. That's nuts. Yeah, me too.
Because like first you gotta have a tree.
I didn't even know people in LA had tree houses.
Dude, used to until Gavin do some. I heard they had to take that shit out. Bart would love that. You heard about that one?
No.
Are you serious?
No, there's a cat who had a treehouse and he had to remove it. He spent like 40 G's trying to save his treehouse.
Yeah,
And eventually the city made him remove it.
No.
He's either a writer for Simpsons or Family Guy.
Simpsons writer, yeah.
Yeah.
And he built like a beautiful treehouse, and like everyone thought it was tight, and like people would come and take pictures and shit.
Is it because it's not the code?
No, yeah, some bullshit about whatever. It's a domicile, and he had to register it as a domicile. It's such bullshit, dude. Yeah, exactly. You gotta put a wheelchair ramp on that, but
Oh my God, no way.
it was some bullshit, right?
Yeah.
So he had to just remove it because he got sick of having to fight the city, because he had to fight the city the whole time.
That's hilarious.
I know, dude.
That's crazy.
This state is the best, Nick. You should stay.
The best.
Can't wait. I can't wait to build my
Yeah.
treehouse ADU.
Yeah, have all your kids here. Put the birth certificate on there. That'd be great.
I remember there was one kid I went to I guess his parents were doctors. And when you go to his house and we watch the Super Bowl there, they have a full tennis court, full basketball court. And it's just like when you walk through this house and you see all these fucking rooms, you're like, dude, what is this place? And it's so normal to them, you know?
Yeah.
And you're just sitting in there like, I remember feeling like I don't even belong over here. Like I shouldn't even be in this house because it was just so like extravagant.
Things just didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Well, I walked into this girl's house, and on the second floor they had a ballroom, like a banquet.
Holy shit.
She was the girl that threw our senior grad party. No one ever hung out with her because she was a dork. And then like finally she's like, my family wants to do a senior grad party. We were like, okay. So the whole class went, and we were like, damn, we should have hung out with you.
Damn, like
She's so cool.
fucking Richie Rich.
Yeah. Her house is massive. And the fact that a pool could have another house. I was like, come on, dude.
I didn't even know about that shit till I had a rich girlfriend, and I was like walking through the wings. They're like, oh, that's in the other wing.
The wing.
And I'm like, whoa, dude. Yeah,
wing.
same thing.
One of my mom's friends had one of those houses. Remember those like 90s intercoms?
Oh, yeah.
So we're like in his room playing, and then you would hear them all like, all right, come down, the dinner's ready. And we're like, what the fuck? And he'll go to like the wall. Okay, I'll be down in a second. I'm like, what the fuck? My mind just got blown.
That's high level shit back then.
Crazy.
Have you seen how some houses still have those dumb waiters installed?
I love that shit.
Seen that dumb waiter? It's like a thing where if the kitchen's up here and they serve the food to the dining place below, it'll send the food on a food elevator. And then you take it from there and you serve it to the table. But then they take them out now because kids die in them.
They try to ride it.
Yeah, because they fuck around, so they take them out.